welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, back for another video about my obsession with my Ford Escorts. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be taking MOREDOOR, my MOREDOOR Mk2 Escort, to have her wheel alignment done. Those of you who have been watching my videos will remember that very recently I fitted a brand new set of rose jointed adjustable track control arms, a brand new set of spherical bearing top mounts and a brand new set of track rod ends. So the alignment's well out, especially considering that after I fitted those parts I set the alignment up by eye in the dark. This morning I had something come through the post which is something I never really considered doing when I started making YouTube videos, but it's also something that loads of you have been in touch to suggest that I do. I am of course talking about the typical YouTuber move of producing merchandise for those of you who want to financially support the channel. I will say straight away that I don't want any of you to feel pressured into financially supporting the channel. The fact that so many of you watch and enjoy the videos is already enough. But for those of you that do want to chip in, now's your chance. I've started small and I've had some stickers made up. Now, loads of YouTubers out there literally just make stickers of their name in a fancy font and then basically charge people £3 a pop to do their advertising for them. Well, I wanted to come up with something a little bit better than that and put a little bit more time and effort into it. And so I've come up with a design that definitely represents the channel, but where my name isn't the main focus of the image. So I've come up with this design, which is just a side-on shot of ESTHER, my ST170 powered Mark 1 Escort, with my name written small underneath. I'm no artist, but I think they look alright. Now, I've done a lot of research before I chose a company to make those stickers for me. Instead of going out and having them made as cheaply as possible, I wanted to focus more on the quality. These stickers have been made out of a material that's very similar to vinyl, but one which meets the British standards for aquatic immersion, which means they're super durable, and I've also paid extra to have them die cut, which means that once you peel them back, the actual sticker is the shape of the image rather than them just being like a rectangular sticker with the image on. And I've also paid extra to have them gloss laminated, which makes them even more durable and gives them a nice glossy finish. Now, these stickers weren't cheap to make, but I've decided to keep the profit margins super small, and I won't even be recouping the money that I've invested. All the money that I get from the sale of these stickers will be getting ploughed straight back in to bringing you more merchandise to purchase in the future. So for anyone who wants to support the channel and grab yourself a sticker, I've decided to sell them for £2.50 each, but for every 2 you buy, I'll also throw in one of these stickers, which is basically the same design but slightly smaller. If you live in England, Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland, postage for you is absolutely free, but I'm willing to ship them all around the world, so if you live anywhere else, it will just be £1.50 extra, and that's £1.50 per order, not per sticker. And I've also invested in these really durable cardboard backed envelopes to make sure the stickers get to you in good condition. So if you want to financially help support the channel and grab yourself some stickers, all you need to do is send the funds to my PayPal account using the email address marcushayesuk@gmail.com. I'll leave all the details for that in the description, and I want to send a massive thanks in advance to anyone who does decide to buy some. Good morning. Right, now I was booked in for an alignment at 9 AM this morning at the place where I normally get my tyres. It's a place called Southall Discount Tyres. Unfortunately, I got stuck in so much traffic that there was no way I was going to get there in time, so I gave them a ring and just said, look, I'm going to have to cancel. Now, unfortunately, they don't have any more slots until 3 o'clock this afternoon, which is obviously no good for me because I'll be at work. Luckily, I found a garage called MOREDOOR in Ruislip, which can fit me in about half an hour, and I'm literally just down the road from there, so all good. Now, seeing as I got up so early this morning, I should really be rewarding myself with a McDonald's breakfast, but I'm having some fruit instead. Alright, so the settings I'm going for is 2 degrees negative camber and ½ degree toe out either side. The guys were saying, are you sure? That's a bit aggressive, but I'll probably be coming back to get the camber done a little bit more aggressive once I start taking her to drift days. Well, what a proper sound bunch of lads they were. It's the first time I've been to that garage and I was really impressed with the service. The owner was actually telling me about a Mk2 Escort that he used to own, which had the American 1.9 engine. He was running it NA on twin 45s, and the car had the Series 1 turbo kit on it as well. Unfortunately, he had to sell it when he got divorced, but he said he's still got a Subaru, so yeah, proper car enthusiast. The alignment was really cheap, especially considering how much trouble they went through to get it right. They kept having to tweak the camber, then tweak the toe, and backwards and forwards until they got it right. So yeah, really happy with the service. And they even said that I could come back in a month's time just to check that it's still all in line, you know, because I've just fitted a load of new parts. He said maybe once the parts settle, it might go out of whack. So he said he's happy to recheck it and adjust it if necessary. I'll leave a link to that garage's website if they've got one in the description of this video, and I'll have a look and see if they've got any Instagram or Facebook accounts as well. I've got to be at work in an hour's time, and I'm actually not that far away from my garage, so I thought I might as well go around the garage and start tidying up. Oh my God, does she drive good now? One thing I should mention is that the steering wheel wobble is now pretty much non-existent. I still need to sort out where the column meets the bulkhead, and I'm going to be ordering a new prop shaft. I think the UJs are worn and it's too short anyway. But yeah, it's already pretty much gone, so that's another good thing. Right, I've made a start on tidying my garage up. You'll notice that the valve cover is missing from this engine. I've actually put that on the ST170 engine that's in the Mark 1, and the one that was on the Mark 1 has been sent off somewhere, but I'll give you more details about that when it comes back. Right now I need to get to work, but I'm going to pick this video up again tomorrow. Hello, so it's now the next day and I'm around the garage near where I live. I'm here with Maude and also Winston, my girlfriend Kat's plastic Ford Fiesta. I gave Kat a lift to work this morning to free up Winston because I'm going to be giving him an oil and filter change. I was actually going to be using him to drive up to Northampton to see my parents today, but I'm actually going to be going up there next weekend now. Apart from Winston's service, I also want to put the banded steels back onto Maude because I'm going to be running them tomorrow when I take Maude to the car meet that's being organised by Adam Ivel of 621. I have got my diff gasket here as well and loads of LSD oil, so I might have a go at doing the diff gasket, but first I'm going to focus on doing the service on Winston. Although I haven't been around here long at all, I have already done one really important job, which is to stick a couple of my new stickers to Winston. Now the really weird shape of this window made it hard to decide where to stick the sticker. At first I was thinking maybe I should stick it like that so it follows that line, but then it would have been really crooked. And then if I go further down the window, it ends up sitting in the middle of the window, or I'd rather it sort of near the edge. But yeah, I think they look all right. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Where would you stick the stickers on this car? Obviously I didn't stick them here because the window goes down. Anyway, let's get Winston jacked up and start draining the oil out. And if you remove your oil cap, it seems to make the oil drain out quicker due to some science that I don't quite understand. Just let the jack down so that it has a chance to drain properly. Right, while that's draining, I'll just show you the oil and filters we're using. I've got it all from OP Oils, and I'll leave a link to their website in the description of this video. And massive shout to Monkey London for the discount. So we're using MOREDOOR Super 3000 5W30 fully synthetic oil, and it's formula FE, so it's got all the additives that modern Ford engines need. I don't know if Zetec's and Zetec SEs need those additives, but this is the Ford spec one. I've got a MAUDE oil filter, and I think those Fiestas came with MAUDE standard, I might be wrong, and a MAUDE air filter as well. And a disposable oil funnel, a wipe for the dipstick, and a wipe for your hands. How good is that? Right, so now all the oil's drained out. Jack him back up. In fact, because the drain plug is at the back of the sump, now that I've jacked it up, it's actually started draining again, whereas it stopped a minute ago, so probably should have left it jacked up, but it's not like I know what I'm doing. Now hopefully this oil filter will unscrew easily because I put it on last year, but again, I don't know what I'm doing, so it's probably too tight. I certainly can't unscrew that with the camera in my hand. All these pipes in the way from this water to oil cooler. Yeah, it's nice and loose. A little bit of oil on the seal of the new one, just helps it seal. Yeah, the oil's pretty much all drained out now, it's just dripping, so put the drain plug back in. Now we can let him down. Right, I'm going to fit the new MAUDE air filter now, which goes in here. And you just got to undo these Torx screws here. A little bit dirty, but not as bad as some I've seen. It just goes in like that. And that is the air box all screwed back together. All that's left to do now is put the oil in. Right, rather than just doing it trial and error and keep checking the dipstick a million times, I found a list online that says that the 1.4 engine, which I think this is, takes 3.8 litres. I think that might be without the oil filter, but I'll just put in just under 4 litres and then check it from there. Well, it's actually bang on the max, but when I run the engine, it will fill the oil filter up, and then I'll need to top the oil up a little bit more. What a beast. By the way, does anyone know why the fans on these engines run constantly? I mean, the engine's cold, the weather's cold. I've literally just drove it round from the front of the block of flats round to here, and the fan's on. It just seems, with Winston, the fan's always on. If you've got an idea why, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, it's a little bit under the max now. And that's just about perfect. Sweet. So yeah, oil and filter change, nothing difficult at all. I think those parts came to 56 quid from OP Oils, and obviously don't have to pay the labour because I've done it. But I think Kat owes me a Nando's tonight now. Right, I think I'm going to crack on with Maude's diff gasket now, seeing as I've got an oil drain pan here, and you know, it's not a job that I'm looking forward to doing. And as I said the other day, I'm not going to film it in much detail, but I need to get it done because then I can fit the rear wheel bearings. Alright, so I'm making progress with this diff gasket job. Got it jacked up, rear wheels off both sides, brake drums off both sides, drive shafts undone and pulled out slightly, both sides, and the diff is now out. So it's just a case of cleaning up the flange on the diff and the axle, because obviously I used a load of sealer last time because the gasket broke, and then I'm able to put the new diff gasket on and put the diff back in. Yeah, this diff flange cleaned up really easily, which I'm grateful for. I'm going to wrap this diff up now while I clean the axle casing up, because as you can imagine, this floor's got a lot of grit on it, and I don't want any of it going inside that diff because that could be catastrophic. Alright, it's very dark under, I don't know how much you can see, but the flange on the axle now is nice and clean, cleaned up really easily, which is good. Didn't drop any gasket inside the axle casing, which is good. Everything's going really well so far. I'm going to put the gasket on. Now this is a Hermetic gasket. The original gaskets were like paper, and that's the one that I tried to fit last time and it broke. And this one's a lot more heavy duty. Burton Power sell both types of gasket. But yeah, I thought I'd go for this one this time. Less chance of it breaking. Putting it on dry with no sealer, which is how it's supposed to be done. The only reason I put sealer on last time is because the gasket broke. Got my brand new Nylock nuts and washers that I got from eBay. Oh, look, it's leaking oil. See the description for the listing for those? Yeah, now a little bit of oil did come out of there then. I didn't bother cleaning out the axle casing completely. I don't think it's going to matter though with this heavy duty gasket, because it's actually got a layer of metal in the middle of it. So it should just squeeze all the oil out. It's not going to get soaked in oil like the paper one would. Forgot to bring my big hammer. Brake drum does the same job. Right, so got MOREDOOR back on the ground. Looking so much better with a super wide banded steels on the back. I still need to tighten the wheel nuts up properly, as well as the prop shaft bolts, and put some diff oil in the axle, but I'm going to do all of that off camera, and then I've got to go down the road and deal with a few errands, and then I've got a little project indoors to do with MOREDOOR's new ST170 engine, what I'm going to try and do. So I'll catch up with you a bit later. Right, so the errands I had to run took way longer than expected. I went down the road to wash the car and hoover it out and all that, and I noticed a clonking noise coming from the rear end. So I brought the car home. Now earlier, when I put the half shafts back into the axle, I didn't have a big hammer and I used my brake drums. And I thought that the clonking noise might have been the half shafts not pressed into the axle enough. So I went to tool station, bought a big hammer, brought it back, took it all apart. It was dark, but you know, made sure that I whacked the half shafts in and the clonking noise had gone away. But now I've got like I can feel under the brake pedal, like it's almost as if like one of the brake discs is warped, but I haven't touched the front. So maybe where I used the brake drum as a hammer, I did warp it, but then I hammered it back flat again. And I actually used a wheel spacer and I sort of screwed it to the hub with a wheel spacer behind it to, you know, make the shape right again. But maybe it's just a deformed drum that's causing this weird feeling under the brake pedal. I don't know. I'm going to go around there early tomorrow morning and take it apart and see if I can see what's going on. So I'm not actually sure if MOREDOOR is going to make it to the 621 open house tomorrow with Adam either. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, it's now so late that I can't crack on with my little project that I was going to be doing in the garden for MOREDOOR's new engine. So that'll have to wait for another day. Maybe I'll be able to crack on with that after I get back from Adam Ivel's open house tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. Make sure you check out the next video to find out if MOREDOOR did make it to the car meet. If you did think this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe and activate the notification bell to be kept right up to date with any other videos that I post in the future. Make sure you check out my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'll leave the links you need for that in the description, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.